Your good money management decision could be costing you thousands and thousands of dollars if not thought of through the lens of opportunity cost. See, 99% of people making decisions about their money or their businesses aren't thinking about it from all angles. So how do opportunity costs affect managing your money? Let's find out. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 ways to leverage opportunity costs to make better decisions so you're managing your money accurately, you're investing in the right things, and you're seeing your money continually grow. The very first thing is to understand what is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the value you lose from choosing another decision. So it's how much it costs you to choose another option if you're looking at multiple options inside of managing your money. And it's true in anything. Opportunity cost is simply what it costs you to go another direction. And when you're thinking about managing your money, you have to understand when you go left, you're saying no to going right. And sometimes that's a good thing, but you have to at least take into account what could going right make you, and the difference is your opportunity cost. And in a minute, I'll walk you through the formula so you understand how it works from a very practical perspective so you can make better decisions. So opportunity cost is simply what you lose by choosing one of 2 options. For example, in real estate, picking one property over another can be an opportunity cost loss. Meaning, if you choose property A and property B could have made you a little bit more, that difference is your opportunity cost. But you know, it extends past our money. Every single decision has an opportunity cost. When you choose to spend your life with somebody, it costs you spending your life with everybody else. But the value in who you choose, the idea is that you're choosing something that will add more value over time. Might cost you on the front end, but it gains on the long end, especially when it comes to your money. The second thing you want to understand is how the formula of opportunity cost actually works. And here's the opportunity cost formula. FO minus CO equals OC. What this means is the foregone option. The idea is that this is what we don't choose. So this can be a property that we passed on, investing in a stock, not investing in Bitcoin when it was at 23,000 on its way to 65,000, and then instead watching everybody lose all their money and being thankful you didn't. If you invested, I'm sorry. But the truth is, foregone option, that's a big one to understand what you say no to, okay? So it can be not investing in Bitcoin. And I had so many people tell me to invest in Bitcoin when it was at 19,000. And quite frankly, between you and I wish I would have, because it didn't drop from 65,000 down to 30 overnight. I lost a lot of money by not investing in crypto at that time, right? So the foregone option is the idea that's what you passed on. The CO is the chosen option. So the FO is the foregone option. This is what you're not doing. CO is the chosen option. So I'm choosing not to do cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, and I'm choosing to invest in multifamily real estate. That was my reality. I'm choosing to not go the crypto route. I'm going the real estate route. And the OC is your opportunity cost. So you take the foregone option, this is what I could have made, minus what I did make. That's how much it cost me to choose what I actually chose. Here's why this is so valuable. Because when you look at investing, for example, in the stock market, and you know the averages are in the 4, 6, 7, 8% range. You're in that 4 to 8% range depending on the stock market. If you play it long enough, you'll get some compound interest and you'll start to grow, and you might end in the 12 to 13% range. But multifamily real estate has shown that 12% is kind of our basement. That's where we don't do well, is at 12%. We're usually in the 20s. And so if you're going to forego multifamily real estate and invest in the stock market, it can cost you anywhere from 8 to 10% per year. And this is the idea of a foregone option, saying no to something, choosing something else. So let's say I forego investing in real estate that could make me 18%. So this can make me 18%. But investing in the stock market is going to make me 8%. So that's the chosen option. So I don't invest in multifamily real estate. I do invest in the stock market. That means the opportunity cost of investing in the stock market is actually 10% per year. I lose out on the opportunity to earn 10% per year. But let me bring this to home for a lot of you in the United States of America. When 2008 and 2009 happened, a lot of people lost their homes. What that did, the bank tightened up on money, right? And they made it really hard to get money. But what that did is people ended up buying houses at really depressed pricing and then paid off their mortgage. When this pandemic hit in the COVID-19 in 2019, 20, and into 2021, 1/3 of America owned their home outright. They had zero debt on their home. They owned their house 100%. Then interest rates went below 3%. So every single one of you that have equity in your home that could be earning 18% in real estate, and it's going to cost you, let's say 3%, it's costing you 15% in opportunity cost to not invest in real estate. So your equity in your home might create safety at night, but it's costing you 15% a year on a conservative side in real estate. That's how you have to think about your equity. I'm a big proponent of leveraging your equity for more real estate. And this is why, because the opportunity cost is so low. When interest rates go down, the opportunity cost of keeping your equity skyrockets, because we can leverage money at 3, even 4%, and we can earn anywhere from 10 to 20. That's a lot of lost opportunity. And a lot of you that own equity due to 08, 09, and now you've come into this pandemic, you have all the equity, get it out and invest it into real estate because it's costing you way too much to hold on to it. As the dollar starts to decline in value in America, getting debt is really valuable. For example, if our dollar is worth X amount globally, well, we can lay it against the Canadian dollar, right? The Canadian dollar is 79% of our dollar. Our dollar is a lot stronger. Back in 08, 09, after we printed $800 billion and bailed out the banks, our dollar leveled off with Canada. Our dollar came down because we had a real estate crash and printed a lot of money. Well, in the COVID-19 pandemic, we're printing $800 million about every 4.5 minutes. And so the dollar is going to continue to decrease. So holding on to capital is going to be a huge opportunity cost to you. Also, holding on to equity, as I mentioned, is going to cost you a lot of money. So right now in a devaluing dollar, locking in on debt is the best hedge against a devaluing dollar and the inflating prices in America. And the reason devaluing of the dollar and inflation work hand in hand is because when the dollar becomes worth less money, it takes more of them to buy something. That's how that works, and that's inflation. The idea in opportunity cost is we need to make sure that we're taking advantage of the current situation in a good way so it doesn't cost us more money by inactivity or holding on or being caught in fear and really not moving. Before we go into the last tips of understanding opportunity cost, make sure you subscribe to our channel where we post videos every single weekday on real estate investing, leveraging money, investing, raising private capital, and essentially building a financial engine that will drive your life and create loads of freedom. So make sure you subscribe, join our family. Let's get back to the content. One of the ways you can add up this opportunity cost is by looking at the history of the decisions you're about to make. For example, I mentioned the stock market doing around 8%, real estate doing about 18%. Well, how do you know that's not going to change? Because the truth of the matter is, investing in stocks, if you invest in cryptocurrency, can be a heck of a lot more than 8%. It can be 800%, right? It can absolutely skyrocket. And investing in real estate can be not 18%, it can be negative 18%. So the truth of the matter is, how do we know in opportunity costs what we should be doing when we don't understand, especially in the investing world, what we should be leveraging and what things will look like in the future? The number one thing we have on our side is history. Look back 40 years and see what assets have performed well. This is why I place all of my money in real estate. Because over the last 40 years, especially multifamily real estate has continued to trend up. Now, has it had dips? Of course, but the truth is the continual trend is northeast. For example, in 08-09, we did take a dip and then it came back up. And right now, multifamily is one of the most sought after asset classes in all of the real estate world because the trajectory is continuing to northeast. Stock market is a continued, it goes up slowly and it continues to dip back down and we have big dips and then it'll come back and it comes back because commerce in America is really strong. Anybody that tells you our economy is in dire straits right now is wrong. It's just not. Our economy is strong. And so we're thankful for that. But the truth is, we still have to look at history. History tells us what to do. And history will often lay out the opportunity costs. In fact, the only way you can calculate the opportunity costs is through history, because we're projecting these percentages of what we're going to make, and things can happen on the back end that we don't actually realize that. So opportunity cost is a projection. It's not an exact science. It's both an art and a science. And even more specifically, it's an art with scientific music. And tip number 5 with looking at this opportunity cost is understand opportunity cost doesn't take into account your value. For example, I might make a lot more money fixing and flipping properties, getting a lot more properties, getting a lot of them at once, flipping and wholesaling those properties because you get lots of surges of cash and you don't have to use a lot of your own money. I'd make a lot more money doing that, but it has a high freedom cost. I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking for financial freedom to fulfill my mission and spend time with my wife. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to sign up for opportunities that sabotages my freedom. And opportunity cost, one of the things it doesn't take into account is your value system. So in the opportunity costs, you want to make sure you're not ignoring the idea that maybe it's not taking into account just everything. It's one thing to have these percentages. It's another thing to say, yeah, I can make 18%, but it's going to take another 100 hours a month to work. Then I'm not going for the 18%. So when you're looking at opportunity costs, you want to also look at the freedom it costs you. You want to look at energy cost, what energy is expended. And before you go forward with any opportunity, make sure it slides into your value system. I want to give you a free book today called The 7 Secrets of Managing Your Money and Creating Wealth. It's a book I've had fun writing, and I want to make sure you get a copy of it. So click the link below. You'll get your free ebook delivered straight to your email. I'll see you in the next video.